Sorry about the late kick-off tonight. We've put that right from next week on. Good evening. 3 matches for you and all the other Premier League goals of the afternoon. Television's smoothest double act is with us tonight. That's the independent newspaper's opinion, and everyone's entitled to one. Now, our main matches tonight. First, Oldham against Blackburn.
May has gone on the overlap. Ripley has gone for the shot.
A repeat of Wednesday's cup tie. Norwich against Coventry.
It's gone straight to Goss. Sutton tees it through. Will Fox.
And Southampton going for their first Premier League double against Crystal Palace.
Dowie, Cockerell, and Banger through the middle. It's onside, and Banger had a great chance.
And what's the fixture you really need when you've already had a wretched week away to Wimbledon, of course? We have the Brooking Brief on Liverpool. Well, 2 seasons ago, Oldham and Blackburn were in the old second division. Their fortunes have changed for the better. Blackburn's have changed for a fortune. And all Lancashire confrontation on a cold and blustery day at Boundary Park. Our man is Gerald Sinstaff.
Oldham Athletic have had their minds focused this week, already out of the League Cup. They went out of the FA Cup on Tuesday at Tranmere, and lying 18th in the Premier League, their target is now clear. Blackburn, in contrast, still have positive thoughts about all 3 competitions. But both teams today have to contend with the injuries that come to count for more and more as the season counts down. This Oldham lineup lacks Andy Barlow from defence, Nicky Henry and Mark Brennan from midfield. They all played against Tranmere but haven't recovered from their injuries. Steve Redmond will play at the back with Gunnar Halle pushed forward in midfield. As for Blackburn, Kevin Moran is none the worse for his clash with John Fashanu last week. Gordon Cowans is restored to the midfield, but the big test again will be their ability to score goals without Alan Shearer, who's had a cartilage operation. Much of the responsibility will fall on the shoulders of Roy Wegerle. It's a fierce gale blowing here at Boundary Park. Pitch is firm, and it's not going to be easy. Alf Bucksh has come up from London to referee, and Oldham go into the match with Joe Royle saying that they need 6 victories and a few draws to be safe. And today would be a very good day to start. Blackburn in their change strip of red and black stripes. Milligan, nice back heel. Bernard, Haller, Olney in the middle, Marshall going to join him, and a bad cross. It's Jason Wilcox to Wegerle. Redmond just kept it in. It's a throw. It's being close to being a corner. Newell given no space. Sherwood. Newell back to May. Sherwood. Newell. And maybe they've worked it for Wegerle. On the edge of the 6-yard area. Paul Gerrard well positioned to deal with Wegerle's shot. Enough space for him there though. Defenders didn't get to him. Keeper was well positioned. Haller. Marshall inside. Also Olney, and over here Adams and Wright, May rather, taking no chances, put it out for the corner. Scoreboard message gets a response from the Oldham fans as Bobby Minns prepares to deal with the corner. Minns started to come, and it's a corner again, but on the other side. Free header for Bernard. Paul Bernard, the Scotland under-21 international, was allowed a free header at goal. Be disappointed he didn't keep it down, but he had to go over quite a lot of defenders. Ripley. Newell. To May. Wegerle. Ripley. Newell in the middle with Wilcox. Flag was up. Have to go back to Gerrard. He was lucky. The pass from Redmond did him no favours at all. And Redmond now has asked Fleming and Gerrard to tidy it up again. That's better, they're away now. Milligan. Bernard has got through the middle. This is Haller. Marshall and Olney are there. Over at the back is Adams. Good with the left foot. And the shot from Olney, only seen late by Mims, who reacted very swiftly. Well may he puff out his cheeks. Was deflected off Henry, and Mims did very well. Sherwood might decide to go on his own. No, opts for Newell, and not passing very well. Newell had to come back, had an angle, and Gerrard has fumbled, recovered and retained it, but the young goalkeeper is having a nerves crisis, I suspect. Thought he'd got it, but he had recovered before Sherwood slid into him. Alan Shearer among the spectators, unable to add to his 22 goals, which have served to get Blackburn where they are. Newell. Ripley had gone into the middle. Good header by Poynton. Adams. Bernard. Back to him from Olney. And Henry slipped. Bernard. Marshall lets it run for Haller. Haller back into Marshall. And Marshall had problems controlling it. He's got it back to Haller. Haller's shot blocked. And a bit of sustained pressure from Oldham, but didn't end with a shot that made Mims work. So that's half-time, and it's hardly been Premier League football, but it's neither been Premier League weather. Very few players have looked comfortable in it, and it's hardly surprising that they go in with a goalless scoreline. Oldham 0, Blackburn 0. Goalless then as we start the second half, but that's not the recipe here when you consider that Oldham have conceded more goals than any team in the Premier League, and only Liverpool have scored more. Joe Royle, now in his 11th season here at Boundary Park. Only Brian Clough has spent longer with a club in the English Premier League or Football League. Nicely turned on by Olney. Marshall. First time he's been given a chance to run on goal and have a real go. Nicely set up for him by Olney, and then Marshall on the left foot, plenty of power, too much elevation. Poynton. Jobson neatly done, and ditto by Redmond, but not by Haller. 3 consecutive good passes, a little too much to hope for. That's a beauty though for Wegerle, and he was very unlucky, and Gerrard was very agile and very quick in his reactions. Wegerle attempted to nick that over him, and Gerrard stole it with his hands quite beautifully. Excellent bit of play by both sides then. Now Ripley. May going to support him, and Ripley would have done better to have used him. Hendry under pressure, missed kicks. Olney and Marshall in the middle. Ball is coming via a deflection, and then Milligan shoots over the bar. Mike Milligan failing to add to his 3 goals this season by about 3 feet. Sherwood playing it square. May has gone on the overlap. Ripley has gone for the shot. The intent was clear. The power was there, but not the direction. Good strike. So, just a little bit more than 15 minutes left. Still no goals at Banbury Park. Turned across by Redmond, but too high. Steve Redmond took the responsibility, couldn't keep it down. Pictures on your screen, incidentally, looking somewhat sharper and clearer than actually here in the ground. There's been one floodlight pylon out of action in the second half. Keeper must get it away, and does. He's been very cool in those situations. Marshall. It's a good-looking cross, only down, and Bernard denied at the last second. Bernard must have thought he was going to score then. Good ball in from Marshall. Well brought down by Olney. Bernard goes in, and he pulled it. I thought there might have been a tackle, but I think it was just a plain miss kick. Olney did very well to set it up for him. Wegerle, good ball. Sherwood, Ripley is offside. How many times has that happened to him this afternoon? Too many. Hendry has been a pillar in that Blackburn defence. Marshall against Moran. Begin to think at this stage, with just about 10 minutes left, that defenders will be thinking, we don't want a mistake at this stage, and that was exactly the kind of situation where it could have happened. To be pure ricochet, gone for a corner, could so easily have gone in for an own goal. Marshall a good jump, Adams the shot, and it hit Moran, took it away from Mims, but also away from goal. Redmond had his leg back, ready to fire. Ball didn't arrive. Wegerle won it. Wilcox, neat control, just a couple of feet from the touchline. Chased back by Redmond, didn't get there in time, and Ripley at last has paid off. Very good work by Jason Wilcox, and Ripley, after so much trying, in the right place at the right time. Wilcox at the end of a long run when he'd controlled the ball well just on the touchline, low cross in, and Ripley got there before Gerrard. It's Oldham 0, Blackburn 1. Sherwood. Newell chased by Jobson. Wegerle. Can be a lovely player with the ball at his feet. Gone down. Referee mimes a dive. Wegerle was looking to dance his way into the box here. Was there contact? I'm not sure. Referee was close. Give him the benefit. Wilcox has kept it in again. And the final whistle goes with Stuart Ripley's goal, sending Kenny Dalglish to the dressing room via the handshake with Joe Royle. Feeling a lot better, and that's kept Blackburn in touch with the pace setters in the Premier League and has added to the disappointments and problems of a bad week for Oldham. Ends then Oldham 0, Blackburn 1.
It's a very difficult game today, difficult conditions, and you know, we kept battling, we tried to play a bit of football, keep it low on the deck, and it paid off in the end. You know, it was a great ball in from Jason, and a lot of credit should go to him because he's put 3 or 4 in recent weeks, you know, for myself and other players to get the little tap-ins.
What about the England situation? Are you likely to be back for the next one?
Certainly. I spoke to Graham Taylor yesterday and I said to him, don't rule me out. As I said, I'm a quick healer. There's times on my side, and I think the England game's about 4 weeks away, 4 weeks on Wednesday, so I hope there's plenty of time.
And still going strong in 3 competitions?
Yep.
With any priorities?
Yeah, the FA Cup's next week, so that's the most important game for us, which a lot of people say, but actually putting it into practice is a different thing. We've got ourselves in a reasonable position in all 3 competitions, simply because the players have done tremendously well. And without the players, you can't do anything in football, and they're the most important part of the club. They know that, but at the same time, don't get carried away with it. We appreciate everything they've done for us, and we look forward to some more hard work from them in the months to come.
Well, Shearer or no Shearer, Blackburn are going well. Are they doing better than you would have expected?
Yeah, I said at the beginning on this programme that I thought they'd be happy to finish in the top half, and they've done much more than that, and I'm quite prepared to wipe the egg off my face. I think they'll do really well, and I think they'll stay up there. Kenny Dalglish, he gets the best out of his players. You saw him there praising the players. You never see him having a dig at them, and players like that.
We go on about how much money the club has spent and all the rest. It's not the entire story, is it? Because they've got people like Moran at the back who played in the 2nd division, and 1 or 2 others.
That's right, they've got Jason Wilcox, and he's come through the ranks. He's got a terrific left foot, and the part he's played in Blackburn's last 4 Premier League victories has been enormous. He uses his left foot to great effect. And this is a 1-0 victory, this first piece of action against Sheffield United. Corner in, good in-swing corner. Kevin Moran header, 1-0. Free kick against QPR, Shearer header, 1-0. And then of course we've got the one-man show against Leeds in Boxing Day. This is just a ball over the top. He gets through and he does everything right here. First touch, great, and coolly slots it home. And it gets better. Another ball over the top. Again he gets onto it quick. He's away. And what he does well here is a quick look up here. And that's a great ball, and Shearer's not going to miss from there. But this ball that he plays in here, the last one, is the best one on the day. This is terrific. He gets it, he goes at Mel Sterling. He attacks him, he takes out on the left-hand side. And that ball is hard to defend. It's a great goal. This is the goal today. Again, down the left-hand side. He goes at the defence with great pace. He takes it there and he drives this one across. And again, hard to defend again. We'll just round it off here with the goal he scored against Middlesbrough in the 3-1 defeat. And it shows he can shoot from outside the box as well. He cuts inside, he goes at defenders with great pace and picked that one out. What a great shot. Terrific, and he's only 21 as well. He's got every right to be happy there. Added the fact in the quarter-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup against Cambridge, he set up 2 goals exactly the same, took the ball wide in the left, between the back four and the goalkeeper, and Newell scored one, Wegley scored one.
He's got bags of confidence, almost a touch of arrogance, it seems to me, Gary, and I suppose that's
I think
essential.
that's with confidence, because he's playing so well. You tend to feel like that you can do anything. I saw him for the first time, I noticed him anyway against Leeds, and he was outstanding. The balls he hits in, those little bendy crosses behind defenders hate, and strikers love them.
Made for Shearer, and would have been made for you.
Well, I wouldn't have minded.
Can you, from that distance?
I wouldn't have minded playing with Blair like that. They always like early crosses strikers.
Great, thanks. Well, Norwich and Coventry, of course, met in the Cup on Wednesday with Norwich squeaking through 1-0. Let's now show you what happened in their league encounter this afternoon, which gave Norwich a chance to go back to the top of the table. And the team news, well, Norwich made one change from the team that put today's opponents out of the FA Cup. Jeremy Goss replacing the injured Gary Megson in midfield. They're still without Mark Robbins, of course. Coventry led by Robert Rosario, whose striking partner, Mick Quinn, had scored 10 goals in his first 6 games since joining from Newcastle. Commentary comes from Tony Gubber.
Ian Butterworth, the Norwich captain. 4 minutes gone, looking for Beckford. We've got a little flick on, Sutton's there. Covering player was David Boost. And they've just hit the corner flag, and Norwich have their first corner. Ian Cook will take it into the near post. Oh, he got away from Ragusevich. Beckford's in there. Rule Fox. Final touch by Rule Fox. It was well wide of the target, but Steve Ragusevich in the Coventry goal looked somewhat less than convincing as he came off his line to try and claim that. Mark Bowen can knock this one up looking for Beckford. Atherton's interception. Crook who claimed it. Wants a good cross. And that's overhit, but Phillips might retrieve it. He has. Bowen to start all over again. Sutton. David Phillips. Bowen still well forward. Rule Fox, Sutton, surely! What a quality goal from Norwich. They kept the pressure on. Coventry didn't clear their lines properly. Bowen got it back. The attack started all over again. And there were some neat little touches there. Real awareness of where colleagues were. Bowen's little back flick. And then Rule Fox really teeing up a simple opportunity for Chris Sutton to score his 4th of the season. 13 minutes gone. Norwich ahead 1-0. Coventry have forced a succession of corners. Mickey Ginn has taken them all from that far side, but nothing has accrued from them as yet. Oh, Gunn came and changed his mind. Williams went in, off the line by Bowen. That'll be a corner. 6 John Williams who had the shot, and Bowen defending the post, turned it behind. Boost. Williams. Has he got around Bowen? He has. He's got a good turn of heel. Bowen won't get back to him. He can carry it well forward. Oh, he played it behind. Shot was blocked from Galahad. But the chance looked better earlier when it was played behind Mick Quinn. Should have been just in front of him. Galahad. Coventry just beginning to press a little bit here. Williams available out on the right, and they didn't get it to him. Greenman who went in very strongly. Well, it's been 10 goals so far for Mick Quinn for Coventry. That one just played behind him when really he wanted it in front. Butterworth. Goodness me, look at the pace of Will Fox down the right. He must have been 3 yards behind Babb when he started off, and he got to the ball and claimed it. Now he goes round him on the outside. And it's Atherton who clears. He's got a real turn of heel on him. Goss. Culverhouse. Goss again. They can knock it in now. Over the top. Sutton arrives. Didn't get a proper connection. How many chances are Norwich going to create before they get goal number 2? Culverhouse. Beckford. Fox. Sutton. Oh, they've got through again of Norwich. Beckford. Darryl Such arrives. Here he is. Hit the defender on the ground. And then Sutton just couldn't quite stretch. The legs of the teenager just weren't long enough. But Norwich are tearing Coventry to pieces at the moment. And I'm sure half-time can't come quick enough for Bobby Gould and his players. Gone straight to Goss. Sutton tees it through. Rule Fox. Great stop by Grizovic. It was right at him. Fox will feel he should have scored. And maybe there's an explanation in this match as to why Norwich went 5 games without a goal prior to the FA Cup victory over Coventry in midweek. Goss again. And Bowen, the Welsh connection, linking up well for Norwich. Bowen, Goss and Phillips. This is Butterworth. Now Phillips. Oh, Beckford reacted really quickly. He's got Such in support. Here's Such. Too long for Rule Fox, was it? Hasn't scored for almost 5 months, Rule Fox, and maybe that was the chance to get back on the score sheet. Ordered from the dugout last time Coventry were here in midweek, Bobby Gould. A bit less demonstrative at the moment. Oh, that's got well off for Grizovic's chest. Back pass rule really does ask a lot of goalkeepers sometimes. Oh, Bowen sold it short. Williams will claim it. Quinn arrives. That's got to be a goal. The linesman's put his flag up now. Coventry are appealing. Surely the goal should stand. Well, I'm not quite sure what Alan Gunn has given here. He may well have decided that when that ball was knocked into the middle, Mick Quinn was actually technically offside. The linesman certainly put his flag up. Well, the outcome of that, and Mick Quinn is terribly disappointed, is that he's actually given a penalty. The linesman put his flag up indeed for what was a foul, and rather than pausing to allow the advantage, because Quinn did put the ball in the net, the whistle must have gone instantly, because Alan Gunn has stuck to the letter of the law, given the penalty. And Quinn hits the crossbar after Burrows had his penalty saved, and Coventry will feel that's an injustice. Great save by Brian Gunn from Brian Burrows. Quinn thumped the rebound against the crossbar. Coventry get nothing. Good touch by Kevin Gallagher. Rowland knocks it into the middle. Quinn! Now they score! And Quinn and Coventry will feel there's real justice. And Quinn doesn't want to get himself in trouble by going across to the linesman, although he did say something to him as he ran back. And Coventry have got it back to 1-1. And Mick Quinn, his 11th since he joined them from Newcastle, gives a big hug there to Keith Rowland, who's on his debut appearance, having come on a month's loan from Bournemouth, who knocked a perfect ball into the middle. Babb giving it to Culverhouse. Fox, oh, nice touches. Culverhouse. Sutton needs a bit of support. We'll find it from Rule Fox, will he? He's got it back again. Now Fox to cross. Far post. Good jump by Darryl Such. Burrows, who put him under pressure. He just prevented the sort of connection that might have brought a goal. Sutton. Rosario got on it. Williams. No offside! Mickey Quinn! Oh, he's missed the target! And Coventry with a real chance. There was no offside. There were two Coventry players. You'd have put your money on Mick Quinn with his sort of goal-scoring record. But as Gunn came off his line, Quinn couldn't hit the target. Grizovic has put it straight to Ruel Fox. The goal was open and wide, and it only needed that extra touch of accuracy from Ruel Fox. And Steve Grizovic would have been severely punished for that venture outside his penalty area. It's always worth a try when the ball comes to a player in that sort of position.
Bobby, you're unhappy about the penalty decision?
Yes, Tony, we are, to be perfectly honest. The circumstances were John Williams intercepts a back pass, goes across to Bringun, who's then brought down. The ball rolls across to Mickey Quinn, whose side puts it into the empty goal. What decision?
The goal should have stood?
As far as we're concerned, definitely. But the linesman gave offside when the player came from behind the ball. After that, the referee then, I'm not sure whether he knew whether he was coming or going, and some of the explanations he was giving to my players leave a lot to be desired. And I just got the opportunity of writing in my report once again on Monday that officials have not understood the game, and that's where we are at the moment.
That's what you're going to say on Monday?
Definitely, it'll be in my report, and I told Mr Gunn that as he came off the pitch. I said, read my report, because now we have the opportunity to comment on referees. Rightly so, Tony, because if you see that decision, all the viewers see that decision, they know that the goal should have stood.
Well, we'll have another look at it in a second or two, but here we are basically with the manager unhappy about getting a penalty decision.
He was right, it was a strange decision. The goal definitely should have stood, no doubt about it.
But wasn't it a case of the referee just blowing up too early?
Yeah, it's just a ball again over the top, and Bowen runs back. He tries to play it back to Gunn, leaves him short. Williams comes in, and you can see here Quinn coming in. There's no way he's offside there. Gunn takes Williams' feet, Quinn goes in, he puts it in the back of the net.
But if the referee blew up early, he's got to give the penalty, hasn't he? If his immediate reaction was to blow up.
Well, that's right. I mean, all he had to do was give himself a little bit of time. But what he must have done is seen the linesman's flag go up as soon as Brian Gunn knocks Williams, and if he'd have waited a second, he'd have seen Quinn knocked it, and of course he'd have given a goal. But that's got to be the. If there's any other thing, then he's got it. Well, he's got it wrong anyway. But he was a schoolmate of yours, though, wasn't he?
Yes, he was always quick thinking. He always thought quicker than the rest.
Another point.
Not what you were telling us early on.
Another point is, of course, that why doesn't he send Brian Gunn off? You know, when he gives a penalty, then he's got to make a decision. If he's refereeing to the letter of the law, then he's got to send him off. And he doesn't even show him a yellow card.
Offside was a red herring there. There was
no offside. He's 10 yards on.
No. The linesman put his flag up for the penalty.
For the penalty. The goal should have stood.
Right, okay, there we are. Well, our other feature match is Southampton against Crystal Palace. That's coming up in a few minutes, plus the goals from the other games. But first, Liverpool's visit to Selhurst Park today to take on Wimbledon, the subject of the Brooking Brief.
At Anfield on Wednesday, Liverpool suffered one of the biggest FA Cup upsets for a long, long time when they lost 2-0 to Bolton Wanderers. Now, for me, all right, the result was disappointing, but even more so was the manner of the defeat. Graham Souness admitted his side had been completely outplayed and outfought. Now, 3 days afterwards, for me, one of the last sides you want to be meeting are Wimbledon. But that's where Liverpool find themselves this afternoon here at windy Selhurst Park. And let's see what the character of the players are like, particularly after the criticism they've had to suffer from their manager, Graham Souness.
There hasn't been one game this season when Liverpool's lineup hasn't changed, and today was no different. Young goalkeeper David James got another opportunity at the expense of Mike Hooper, and in the back four, Mark Wright came into the side, releasing Mike Marsh into midfield to replace the injured Michael Thomas. Some young supporters no doubt hoping for better things this afternoon. And they certainly dominated the first half. One of the most impressive players was their youngster Jamie Redknapp. Here he releases Mark Waters, who puts in a good early cross, which Don Hutchison just fails to convert. Then in defence, Jamie Redknapp doing good work. An aggressive tackle here, which isn't his strongest point. Then he surges through the midfield, just rides away from that Laurie Sanchez lunge. Again releases a good ball outside, this time to Don Hutchinson. The cross, and who would have thought John Barnes would miss a chance like that? It was to prove costly. Andy Clark, far too much room here, even miscontrols it. He knocks the ball into Steve Cottrell. Torben Picknick slips as he turns, falls across Cottrell, and it had to be a penalty. He actually tries to get too tight, and in doing so then loses his footing, realises Cottrell is going to get away, and has to fall him down. John Fashanu didn't waste too much energy with his penalty, but it puts Wimbledon 1 up. Poor old Torben Peaknick went off injured soon afterwards. Steve Harkness coming on as left-back substitute, which allowed Bjornby to go into central defence. Mind you, wouldn't be pleased with that horrible miss-kick, and very relieved, I'm sure, that David James rescued him with Neil Ardley's shot. And just before half-time, they have another great chance. This ball along the line has to be Steve Harkness's, but look how easily he's nudged off the ball. Steve Cottrell sees everyone sucked into the near post, and Laurie Sanchez, having had so much time, should have put it into the corner. Soon after the restart, Laurie Sanchez might have been remembering his cup final goal. His back header here, coming back off the crossbar, and then in the scramble, David James eventually getting hold of it, who said goalkeepers weren't mad. This Gary Elkins through ball again catches Liverpool flat, and as the ball floats goalwards, it's Bjornby who somehow hooks it off the line. The second goal had to come though, and as Elkins drives this free kick, it's back headed by Fashanu, and again it's Robbie Earle going in courageously, perhaps in a way that Liverpool forwards aren't at the moment. Steve Cottrell receives the congratulations, but Graham Souness knows too many soft goals are being conceded.
It didn't look like there was any cohesion with the back four. One would come up, the other one would stay down, this one would come up, this. There's not the same understanding, and I suppose that comes from not having a settled side.
But I mean, for 35-40 minutes, they played very well. They didn't get the goals, and I would have said the turning point was the penalty, which was a penalty, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, we don't mind them. They're playing triangles behind us. We don't mind that. In the middle of the park, they're looking nice, they're looking pretty, a few triangles, 1-2s. That's fine, but it wasn't hurting us. They weren't getting in behind our fullbacks. They weren't penetrating us up front. So if they want to look pretty in front of 11,000, that's fine.
Well, this is the dugout where Graham Souness spent more time off his seat than on it. And it must have been a very frustrating time, because for that first 35 minutes, they did control the play. But unfortunately, you don't convert your chances, the confidence drains away once that penalty went in, and from then on they did struggle. And not surprisingly, afterwards, Graham Souness and his players did refuse to comment on the outcome today. But I think they've got to stick to those principles, keep playing their football, and hope those chances do go in. If not, it does look as if it's going to be a grim few months remainder of the season.
Thanks, Trevor. Well, we've had lots of opinions from you chaps about Liverpool in the last week or so, last couple of weeks. Anything to add from today's game? It looked a bit of a shambles, really.
Yeah, they weren't the best defensively, but Liverpool have always had this ability to pull together as a club, and they need to do that now more than ever. Mm-hmm. And again, you know, once the players cross that white line, there's nothing anybody can do for them. It's up to them. When the 11 players get on the pitch, they're the ones that have got to get Liverpool Football Club out of trouble.
They haven't got a game, I think, for the next couple of weeks, Gary. I mean, is that good? Go away and think about it a bit, or would it be better to play
I think it's good. I think they've got themselves in a rut. They'd be better. I think it'd be better giving the players 5-6 days off. Get away from it. Do what you like. They probably won't. But that's how I like my managers. But they're struggling. I think we should have a ceasefire on Liverpool for a while.
Okay. Well, just before we move on to the Southampton Crystal Palace match, our roundup of goals from other games, beginning with Everton at home to Leeds United.
Everton manager Howard Kendall recalled Tony Cottee for only his 7th league game of the season, but made it very clear he wanted perspiration as well as inspiration from the £2 million striker whose contract is up at the end of the season. It ended up being one of the better days of Cottee's Everton career. Peter Beardsley robbed Gordon Strachan and drove the ball across. Cottee dived in like lightning at the near post to head the first goal. Inevitably, Peter Beardsley was involved in a second Everton goal, although Gary Ablett started the move. When the ball came to the far post, it was Tony Cottee that settled matters. It was an important win for Everton after their FA Cup exit, and their 2-goal hero has his eye on a new deal.
My contract ends at the end of the season, but it's up to me to prove the manager that I deserve a new one, and if I carry on like that, hopefully I will be offered a new one.
A home win on the coupon might have looked a wise prediction. City had scored 8 in their last 2 matches. Arsenal had picked up just 3 points from their previous 24, and Ian Wright was suspended. 6 times now Niall Quinn's played against his former side. He's still to score. Arsenal boss George Graham described Paul Merson and Mark Flatt's performances as outstanding. 11 minutes from time, Flatt's stylish run created the opening for Merson to score from close range. Arsenal's only real chance, but it was enough to give them all 3 points.
A lack of goals has been Sheffield United's problem so far this season, and in particular, it's been striker Brian Deane's problem. Not anymore, it seems, because Deane has gone goal crazy and scored 6 in... was a vital 3 points for Sheffield United today. Hat-trick number 2 of the week for Dean came by the celebrations. No problem at all with team spirit at Bramall Lane.
Forest are still bottom, but it's looking a little brighter. 100% record in the league in 93, played 2, won 2. And 100% record for Chelsea in the new year, played 4, lost 4. Scott Gemmell looked to have set up Roy Keane, despite appeals, no offside. Kevin Hitchcock saved with his feet to give Gary Bannister the simplest of chances. But a quality finish for Bannister's second, signed on a free transfer. Ian Wone provided the cross. And how about this crossfield ball from Nigel Clough? Outside of the foot, Ian Wone in plenty of space, and this time he carved out the opening for the substitute Toddy Orlickson as Chelsea's season begins to disintegrate.
After their hammering at Manchester United last week, Spurs got themselves in trouble again today against Sheffield Wednesday, playing in stripes. The Tottenham fans gave their former player Chris Waddle a great reception on his return to White Hart Lane, but their team gave too much room to Mark Bright when Hurst and Harkes undressed their defence after 10 minutes. You're always in with a chance when you're only 1 goal down, and that's the way it stayed till seconds from the end. Then David Hurst's left foot settled the result, and it was a goal designed to remind Graham Taylor that he wants a place in the England side. Sheffield Wednesday unbeaten in their last 5 league games now, and are still involved in both major cup competitions.
We heard Alan Shearer sound pretty confident about making the England team next month. But if he doesn't, I think we've seen another couple of candidates there today who might get into the, well, squad, if not team.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that, I mean, Brian Deane, for a start, I would put Hurst ahead of him at the moment. I think Brian Deane's got to be a bit more consistent with his goal scoring. But I like Hurst. I think he's a good goal scorer. He's got a tremendous left foot, as he shows with this goal. And I think that if Wright or Shearer are not available for one reason or another, then I think David Hurst should definitely get a chance.
Is he a consistent enough goal scorer, do you think?
I think he definitely is. He had a bit of a spell this season, but every striker gets those.
And he was out injured, wasn't he?
The only question mark I have against David is he gets injured quite frequently.
Yeah. Well, now to 2 clubs in the bottom third of the table. Southampton at home to Crystal Palace. Southampton looking for their first Premier League double. Commentator at the Dell, John Motson.
Ian Dowie is back after suspension to lead the Southampton attack. When they beat Palace 2-1 at Selhurst Park in September, he scored both goals. Dowie replaces Kerry Dixon in a Southampton side which shows 3 changes. At number 2, Jason Dodd wins the right-back spot from Jeff Kenner, and at number 11, Perry Groves returns, with number 3, Mickey Adams, reverting to left-back in place of Francis Benali. Palace are without Eric Young, who's suspended, and Richard Shaw injured, so Chris Coleman and Lee Sinnott line up in defence. In attack, 19-year-old Grant Watts and 18-year-old George Endar give Palace a youthful look. Chris Armstrong and Simon Roger are both only 21. And at number 11 there, Eddie McGoldrick is now playing as sweeper, but he scored here when Palace won at the Dell in the Coca-Cola Cup. Referee Philip Don, one of our most attentive officials, will have to keep a watchful eye on things today, because however you dress this match up, it's a relegation scrap. Or in the words of Steve Coppell, they're all monster matches from now on. His Palace team are in yellow, and I think his opposite number, Ian Branford of Southampton, who used to be a coach at Palace, will know exactly what Coppell means. 3 points separate the teams at the start of play. So Southampton could draw level with Palace if they won. Moncau's header, Thomas getting the other side of Hurlock. No, he didn't, but Endar got a shot in. And that's caught one of the stewards, that shot by George Endar. And Tim Flowers has gone to see if that gentleman is all right. It caught him right on the head, I think. And an attentive piece of work there by the Southampton goalkeeper, who's got the time and the concern to make sure that the bearded gentleman is no more than stunned by that shot from the Palace number 7, George Endar. Just look at that. Oh dear, he felt it, didn't he? Well, he seems to have half recovered anyway. Foul given against Thorne. His battle with Dowie may be one of the keys to this match. And Le Tissier shapes to take the free kick. Dowie comes in for the header. And there goes Armstrong. His pace will take him behind Dodd. Endar. Oh, now then, is he onside, Watts? Well, there was no flag. And how did he miss? Well, that was extraordinary. It's Grant Watts on the ground, consoled by Tim Flowers, but what happens here? Endar's cross, they're all standing still. The defenders think he's offside. There's no flag from the linesman. Tim Flowers reacted well, really, to force Watts to shoot wide, but it was a very good chance. The only one of the half so far, really, of that quality. Here's Thomas. Humphrey. Watts. Groves got back to help. Hurlock. Dowie. Nice turn that. Can he put... Oh, no, he can't. It was Maddison who was trying to get through. Roger for Palace, a good pass to Armstrong. And Simon Roger is forward here, not found by Armstrong, but he got a foot in. Here's Groves. Dowie left on the ground, referee saw it but let Southampton progress. This is Groves with Dodd coming up to his right. Maddison is the other way now, that's where it's going. Le Tissier. Groves, and now Dodd. Good challenge by Sinnott. It's a corner, deep into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Oh, and can Maddison get it in? Good save by Nigel Martin. The ball was mussed, really, in a crowd of players there, and Maddison smuggled it out and might well have put the Saints in front. Nigel Martin called to make a save right at the end of the half. Well, the ball ricocheted off 2 or 3 shins here, and finally it was Maddison who had the shot on the turn, and it's a very good save at full stretch by Nigel Martin. Hurlock. Oh, it's Thomas and Hurlock. And the referee couldn't have had a better view of that. Mr. Don was right next to them. And he'll wait for the ball to go out of play, I would imagine, but he may well deal with that incident then. He's had a word in passing. I think both players just about came to their senses in time there. Cockrell. Dowie. Now, can he put Groves through? Le Tissier is to his right. On the left-hand side here is Mickey Adams, and they're racing into the penalty area here, Southampton. And there's the header, and it's got in Maddison. And Southampton are in front. Nigel Martin beaten, and Maddison, who had the chance just before half-time, really took that well. It's a good move. Mickey Adams, who swings the crosses in so well with his left foot, got real flight on that, and Maddison jumps and steers that beautifully in the corner. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Maddison, who's started the last 13 games, his best ever run in the senior side, shaken off the injury that dogged him for so long, scores what could prove a priceless goal. That was Dowie, and that was Humphrey. And that's fallen them nicely for Glenn Cockerell. And he hung on a bit too long. Andy Thorne blocked the effort. There were 4 other players up with Cockerell. He couldn't quite decide who to play it to. This is a good move here by Armstrong. He shook off Moncau. Watts is going to the right now. Armstrong into the gap that he left. 2 players colliding with him on the edge of the area. Referee happy that they were attempting to play the ball. Le Tissier, Cockerell, up on the right, Terry Hurlock. 3 the other way for Southampton. Far more flow to the game now. This is Dodd. Le Tissier. Didn't see it till very late there, Matt Le Tissier. It came over the defender's head in front of him. Armstrong shown some very good touches, number 9 for Palace. Watts goes to the right again, but Moncau, solid in defence for Southampton, spreads the play to Le Tissier. Now, hasn't been on the right wing very much in this game, but that's where he is now, where he used to play. Dodd joins the attack. That's a lovely ball by Matt Le Tissier. For a 3 to pull it back to for Dodd. And he didn't pull it back, that was the problem. The cross was too near the goal. Well, Palace have changed their tactics. Now they're a goal down. Eddie McGoldrick no longer playing as sweeper. He's been pushed up into the attack, where he has scored 9 goals this season, because Palace have forsaken the extra defender in the light of the Southampton lead. Change of tactics here again by Southampton this time, because with Banger on the pitch, Le Tissier has switched to a wide position. Oh, that's Dowie hampering the goalkeeper. Dowie, Cockerell, and Banger through the middle. It's onside, and Banger had a great chance. He's only just come on to make it 2-0. The flag staying down there. Palace caught square, and Nigel Martin is to be thanked for keeping them in the game. Banger had a long look at what he was going to do and tried to slide the ball underneath the goalkeeper's body. Martin foiled him. Hurlock. Moncau. Le Tissier brought it down superbly but couldn't trick the wise man at the back, who was Andy Thorne, and this is a Palace attack instead with Eddie McGoldrick. Bowery. Maddison, offside. Helped on by Maddison, helped out rather, and this is Humphrey to Sinnott. All the heavy brigade staying forward. Coleman's in there. So is Jeff Thomas. Oh, he's hit the frame of the goal. Terrific shot by Jeff Thomas with the left foot. And Le Tissier breaks away at the other end for Southampton. Banger tries to stay onside. And Palace so close to an equaliser. Tim Flowers could do nothing about that. Bit of reaction to the challenge there, but goodness me, Jeff Thomas produced something there that might well have saved the day for Palace. It came almost out of nothing. The ball coming back off Coleman. Thomas hit it with his left foot. It flew past Moncau and it hit the bar. Hurlock. Free kick for offside. So Palace, deep into injury time, have another free kick. This is Sinnott. Coleman's in there, turning it on. This is Thorne, but it's run out of play. And there's the final whistle. And what an important victory that may prove to be for Southampton. And it was provided by a second-half goal from number 10, Neil Maddison. And a priceless goal it may well turn out to be. Southampton 1, Crystal Palace 0. Palace came close at the end when Jeff Thomas hit the bar.
Now Alan's going to have a quick look at Matt Le Tissier, who either delights you or frustrates.
Yeah, this is the frustrating part. There's a throw in here. Now, he just needs to take one touch and play it into the area we've marked. But he doesn't, he holds on to it. He does well here. And this is a terrific piece of skill. He brings it back. But why doesn't he just take one touch, play it left peg into the box? He goes and tries and beats him again for some inexplicable reason. And
Likes beating him.
But this is where he's good. He has a nice little angle here to collect the ball. He comes inside. He's going at the defenders. Keep a hold of it. He's looking for somebody to move. And then eventually, that's a terrific ball over the top to Dodd, the right back. But he's got to be in the game more. As we've said before, he's got terrific talent.
Terrific to watch him play. Now the league tables, this is the top half at the moment. As you see, Norwich City back in pole position, a point ahead of Manchester United and Blackburn Rovers and Villa. This is the bottom half, and Forest, despite their win again, are still 3 points adrift of Oldham and Wimbledon. Now this is the form table that our man Albert has put together based on the last 6 matches played. These are the top 6 positions. It'll surprise you to see that Nottingham Forest are in there on form, and Sheffield Wednesday in second spot. And these, the bottom 6 on current form, last 6 matches played.
Don't mention Liverpool.
Don't mention Liverpool, but Norwich City, who lead the table, are actually bottom on form, no wins in their last 6 matches. There we are. Sports Night on Wednesday will be concentrating on FA Cup replays, and of course next weekend it's the 4th round of the Cup. Our live match on Sunday is Norwich against Spurs, and from next weekend our Saturday night match of the day will be at the sensible and regular time, at last, of 10:10. Finally, Liverpool are in for the best spell they've had for some time. They haven't got a game for 15 days. From us, good night.
Saunders, he's got away from Picnic. This is a big chance for Dean Saunders, and he's taken it.
McGinley, it's gone away from Bjornaby. Walker is free, and has scored!
Fashanu gets a back header, Earl comes in, James loses it, and the shot comes in from Cotterill, and that's the second goal for Wimbledon.
Get out and dig some dirt.
You ever hear of a geezer called Tommy Thornton? If you want them, come on, let's go right now!
I didn't realise there'd be so much violence.
It's not holiday on ice, that's for sure.
Did you know that your husband is pressuring Duchesne into throwing games?
Everything right in on this one result, eh?
Now he knows where we are. He'll be back.
He doesn't know where I am.
It's all in the game for Spender. Tuesday, 9:30 on 1.
Now, film buffs have a feast in store as memories of movies past are evoked when a masked killer is at large on the backlot of MGM Studios. The constellation of stars of yesteryear cast their glittering light over The Phantom of Hollywood.